Often, KM in law firms tends to be about capturing explicit legal knowledge, and there is little attention paid to identifying and sharing tacit knowledge. What are the kinds of tacit knowledge that law firms should look at leveraging?
It's interesting because tacit knowledge is, to me, the most important knowledge that any organization, not only law firms, need to focus on capturing, exposing, and sharing internally. That's where the real rich knowledge assets lie. And the main thing that distinguishes any one organization from another, and this is not only true for law firms, it's true for any organization, is the people who pass through that organization. So the people who used to work there, the people who work there now, and the people who are going to work there in the future. And so focusing only on explicit knowledge, you're losing out on the most valuable knowledge assets in the firm. So the real question becomes, how do you tap into this knowledge? How do you capture the knowledge in people's heads before they leave your organization? And to me, that's always been the most important part of knowledge management, and the most interesting part of it as well. There are numerous ways that you can do it. I'll talk just about a few. If you think about documents, explicit knowledge, so we do collect those documents and we make them available, but there's a real opportunity to capture the tacit knowledge related to those documents. And all you really need to do is go back to the person who created the document, take 10 or 15 minutes, interview the person, and ask questions about the background of the document, what was the context of the deal, what was interesting about that particular matter that made it a little different than others. Is there anything in the document that someone who's using it as an example needs to know about any part of it? So is there unusual language in it that you would have done differently if it was for another client or another purpose, but because of something that was going on in this particular matter, you had to word it this way to make it work? You can, in a 10 or 15 minute interview, get all of that information and then incorporate that into the document in the form of annotations. So footnotes or endnotes that the person who is then going to use that document as a starting point has in front of him or her to really understand and use that document in a better way. So I think that's a really good opportunity for capturing some of the tacit knowledge. Interviewing people is one of my favorite ways to get information. So apart from doing that to annotate documents, when people come into the firm, I try to take an opportunity to sit down with new lawyers who come into the firm and just talk to them again for 10 or 15 minutes and ask them questions about their background. One of the first questions I like to ask is, tell me something about yourself that it would take me 10 years of knowing you to finally find out. But I want to know it right now. What would that one thing be? And, ask different questions about the person's past experiences, special skills that the person has that might not be apparent. And then write up a summary of the interview and include that in your knowledge repository, so other lawyers in the firm know that about the person when the person comes in. Likewise, an excellent opportunity to interview people is when they're leaving. So if you know that a lawyer is about to leave your firm, either to go in-house with a client or to go to another firm, again, to take 10 or 15 minutes and interview that person, ask them, tell me what your most interesting matter was that you handled here, and tell me all about it. Or what gaps do you think we're going to have at the firm when you leave? What special things did you do that no one else in the firm is doing? Ask questions like that, and again, write up the interview and include that in your knowledge base. All that information is very useful to your lawyers. The best people to interview are lawyers who are retiring. They have so much to tell you, and they tend to have more time because they're winding down their practice. And so if you take some time and talk to those lawyers and write a summary of that and include that, you've captured some really rich knowledge that all of your lawyers can benefit from. The third thing that we like to do at our firm are what we're calling roundtables, where we will get lawyers together from all over the firm, different offices, and we'll connect them virtually. So either through audio-enabled or video-enabled conferences, and we'll just get them all talking about an emerging area of the law, or if a new case came out from the Supreme Court, what they think the impact on their different practice areas will be. Just get them talking about this in a discussion. We record that, and then if you take that recording and package it through your intranet or whatever means with articles on the same topic, or different things your lawyers have written, or different things other people have written, then you've got this rich conversation packaged with all of the material relevant to it that your lawyers can benefit from. So I think the real key with tacit knowledge is to find a way to expose it, to get it out of people's heads in the first place. Then the second important aspect is to somehow record it. So either, record it on video, or just by writing down a summary of it. And then the third and probably most important aspect is to then share that. Make it very available to the lawyers throughout the firm.